Hi, I'm Beatty Carmichael, President of Success Products, and today on GrowthPro TV I want to talk about 3 easy ways to find local prospects. And if you're looking for more great training or tools to build your business, be sure to visit our website at growthpro.com and learn more. But for right now, let's talk about 3 easy ways to find prospects. And to do this, it starts with having a voicemail message that has a pre-recorded greeting on it, okay? And this pre-recorded greeting, the key on the greeting is it must have testimonials. In testing that we've done over the years, we find that pre-recorded greetings on voicemail with testimonials will outperform a similar greeting by 7 to 10 times in creating prospects. So very important that we have testimonials. Now, what we want to do with this message is we want to get people we've never met that we don't know calling that number and getting interested in our business. So let me share 3 simple ways of using this type of voicemail in order to get people calling you. Number 1 is what I call a rear window car sign. Rear window car sign. Now this is a sign that you put on the back of your car, and everywhere you drive it's advertising your business. And it's incredibly effective. One of our clients, a lady named Charlotte, was calling me up and telling me she'd put a sign on the rear window of her car and in 10 days got 12 prospects asking her to call her back. In fact, one of them was driving up on the interstate, honking his horn, beep, 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 asking her to roll down your window, okay? She rolled it down on the interstate and he yelled over, "I'm going to call that number," pointing to the sign on the back of her car. In 2 days. I called her. I actually talked to Charlotte a couple of years later and said, "Charlotte, whatever happened to that guy?" He said, "Oh, he called me back and he signed up." I was talking also to another lady. She was at the checkout counter of a drugstore and looking outside the window, she saw an older man writing down the phone number from the rear window sign on her car. And a few minutes later, her cell phone pager said, "You got a new message." So she called him back and set an appointment. Turns out he's a 67-year-old retired physician, and she signs him up in business. Here's my question. What's the likelihood that either one of those folks would have gotten those prospects had they not had a sign on the rear window of their car? It's what I call one of those no-brainers. Here's what's interesting. A sign on the rear window of your car is responsible for the average person, based on what we've done in just sort of anecdotal studies, to recruit 6 to 12 new people a year. Okay? 6 to 12 new recruits per year. That's amazing. Now the second way to find local prospects is what we call gapping. G-A-P. Gapping stands for grab a pen. Okay? And it basically goes like this. You call upon a friend or someone you know and say, "Hey John, do you have a moment?" The guy goes, "Yeah." "Great, grab a pen and paper." Grab a pen and write down this phone number, and you give him the phone number to your voicemail. Call that number, and if you like it, call me back and let's talk. I was talking to a man named Leon. Leon had been in his business 4 years at this time. He'd been trying to recruit his daughter, and for 4 years, she wouldn't even take a look at his business. That's how bad Leon was. Well, he got on this voicemail system that I've been talking about, this thing we call a sizzling, and he called up his daughter and said, "Hey, honey, call this number and tell me what you think." He wasn't trying to use any special gapping method. You know, he was just curious. He was excited. "Call this number and tell me what you think." So she called it up. 4 minutes later, she called him back and said, "Dad, this sounds exciting. Can you tell me more?" And he recruited her. What was the difference? It wasn't that he was any better of a recruiter. It's just that he was able to get a professional message, a recorded greeting in front of her, and she finally saw the business for what it really was. This can get you back in touch with people who've told you no. And then the third way of doing this is what we call sticky notes. Now sticky notes are what most people call post-its, okay? A little post-it note. And it looks like this, all right? You got a little post-it note, and what you do is you write a message. "Please call. It's important." You sign your name, and then you put your phone number on it, your voicemail phone number, and you stick that note on the driver door window of a parked car. So you're at the grocery store, you're at the mall, and while you're there, just drop a couple notes off. Now the key is don't put it on every car. Every 2 or 3 or 4 cars, so it looks personal. You find the cards that you think probably have the most likely prospect. So now someone comes back, they see the note, they pick it up, they call the phone number, and the phone number goes to your recorded message. If they like it, they listen all the way through. If they don't like it, they hang up. No big deal. But here's the impact. John had just gotten his voicemail. He didn't know what to do, so he heard about this sticky note method. He went out to the mall and put out 100 sticky notes. Within a couple hours, he had 22 prospects responding. Now, that's probably not the average. If you put out 100 sticky notes, then average is probably more like maybe 5 or 10. But the idea here is you're already in the parking lot. You're already walking by those cars. Why not take the opportunity to find more prospects? These are some cool ways to do it. So hopefully this has helped. If this has helped, you find this interesting, please copy the link at the top of this video up in the address bar in your web browser and paste it in an email and send it to your downline and other friends and let this training help them. Also, be sure to visit MLMfreetools.com. You can get one of my free CDs, training CDs on how to recruit people. You can maybe download some of our telephone scripts or things of that sort. Anyway, some great tools to help you build your business, and they're all free. And in leaving, I'd like to share just a few more of the thousands of testimonies that our training and tools have helped, and encourage you to maybe take a look at more of what we have to offer if you're looking for ways to build your business. Thanks for allowing me to share, and I'll see you at the top.
I'm running an ad in a paper in another state, and I'm getting people to come up to an appointment in my hometown. Now, and how many people have you sponsored? 15.
I get great results. I get the best people off my single line. They're the most qualified. They're the people who come in and stay. And
just over 10 weeks, and the results have been incredible. I'm averaging 4 new top-quality representatives a week.
Through running the ads, that basic ad, and I got 15 frontline personal reps with that.
The cards are just phenomenal, and I get sometimes about 60 or 70 calls a week.
How many of those are you sponsoring?
I probably sponsor about 12 of those people a week.
We sponsored 6 reps in the last 2 weeks.
Our Invisalign, Mr. Carmichael, is just exploding. I mean, yesterday, I stayed off of it for about 3 hours, and I came back and had 19 more calls.
We have been doing it about 1 month, and we have been averaging probably, 20, 25 calls a day, and we have 30 reps that are in the system.
Tell me, how many cards are y'all getting out every week?
About 1,100.
A week?
Yeah.
And how many of those that leave names and numbers do you sponsor?
Between 5 and 10.
She has 3 people who had shown up in her contact manager wanting some additional information about the business opportunity.
Great. Now, how long has she been signed up on the website?
About 3 days.
My business has literally exploded in growth like I have never experienced in 3.5 years. We've been bringing in up to 30 reps a month